5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The pit stop is vital to every race team's success. Pull off the track, let your team go to work.
Outside, clear.
Change all 4 tires, fill the fuel cell, and make needed adjustments, all in 8 seconds or less.
Wouldn't it be great if every company you ever asked to sponsor you said yes? Well, the reality is the vast majority of potential sponsors don't get involved. There's lots of reasons for that. We're going to talk about it. We've got 2 great drivers today, up and coming. Stay tuned. Pits are open. Will Murata, your host. Alex Smith, our engineer. Thanks to all the folks watching on Speed Sport right now. Appreciate you guys very much. And if you're watching as a recorded piece, please, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, follow us on Spotify as well. Also want to encourage you to go to our website, thepitsareopen.com. Please sign up for our weekly newsletter. That is the best portal for information that we use to get information out, particularly about 2 major projects that we're going to be launching in the next few weeks. And the whole purpose of it is to help drivers and teams be more self-sustaining, more able to function with less sponsor money. How many of you out there, let me just see a show of hands, you'd love to be able to function with less sponsor money? How many? Can I see that? Yes, I see those hands. I mean, listen, most people on race teams, drivers, team managers, most of your time is spent chasing dollars for racing. And unless, again, if you have generational wealth, that's fine. If you got a backer that has generational wealth, that's fine. But every family is going to top out. Very few families have the ability to keep funding young drivers through to wherever they want to go ultimately, whether it's NASCAR, IndyCar. And so this is going to be, listen, particularly if you're a parent and your son or daughter is racing karts, this is the best time for you to start building enterprise value around their career. Super important. And so we're launching, we've begun to launch already, Speedway Venture Studio. Let me give you just a brief definition of Speedway Venture Studio. Speedway Venture Studio is a media-first motorsports operating company that converts fans into reoccurring revenue members, uses racing as credibility and content engine, not as dependency, and selectively launches adjacent businesses only after demand is proven. And that's exciting. It's exciting that we got that going. Exciting that we're starting, and we're launching it through a private group, a private membership group, and it's called SVS Insiders. SVS Insiders is the official gateway into Speedway Venture Studio, delivering exclusive behind-the-scenes motorsports access, original media, opportunities to build, connect, and grow within this new model of funding for motorsports. So the stuff that we're going to offer in Insiders will not be available. It won't be on YouTube. It's going to be private videos, private sessions, private Zoom meetings, private phone calls, access to me as the founder. And we'll be launching that first. Speedway Venture Studio will be launched sometime, we hope, in May. We're talking to the funding groups about it now. And then SVS Insiders will be launched, we hope, in just a couple of weeks. We'll talk more about that. But there's all kinds of reasons why, in that opening question, I said it wouldn't be great if every company you contacted sponsored you, but the vast majority don't. We think it's probably, I talked earlier about less than 5%. It's really probably less than 1 or 2% of all the companies in the world, in the country, that would fund people in motorsports. And it's not that they avoid motorsports because motorsports doesn't work. They avoid it because it feels unclear, it feels too complex, it feels risky, or it feels outdated. So when you drill down a little deeper into that concept, you find out that really the problem is the model. And here's the traditional model. You seek sponsorship, you hope that the brand activates, you hope that all that works, and you hope that they repeat next year. It puts all the pressure on the sponsor and no pressure on the the team or the driver. So that's what we have to do. We have to build a model that answers the company's expectations, which one is measurable ROI, multi or omni-channel exposure, lead generation, content integration, first-party data, which is so important to sponsors. They want to know what their audience, what your audience, how they think, how they function, how they move, and ongoing engagement. And really what they're looking for is full funnel, not just top of funnel. They're looking full funnel. So funnel all the way down into client acquisition. That's what they're looking for. And that's where we believe Speedway Venture Studio is going to change the game. And we're excited about it. And we hope that you're going to be following us. We hope that you'll get involved in Speedway Venture Studio. Now, when we launch this, you're not going to see this on social media. This isn't a fan club. This isn't a dating site. This is for builders. This is for serious people in motorsports, serious drivers, families of drivers, team managers, team owners, potential sponsors, investors. This is going to be a very serious. Next week, we're going to start introducing our board of advisors, a top shelf group that's helping us work through a lot of these things. We will eventually be launching a investment membership fund that people will be able to literally, as a regular security, will be able to invest into. And there's a lot to this. And so we are excited about it. We're going to give you more information as it goes. But our newsletter, The Pits Are Open, is our primary portal for information. And again, you go to our website, thepitsareopen.com, sign up for the newsletter, and all the information that we'll be releasing on Speedway Venture Studio and SVS Insiders will come out through the newsletter. So you want to stay on top of that and get all the information you can. So please. Well, I'm excited. Our first guest, we've got two great drivers, two up-and-coming drivers. You're going to hear a lot about these folks. Our first guest is an emerging American race driver, born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She started racing in karts at 6, became the winningest female driver at Port City Raceway, had a standout college career, D1 championship cheerleader at University of Oklahoma, returned to racing, quickly gained attention, included becoming the first woman to win a national midget feature race. She's driven in a number of series, currently in the ARCA Menards series, and we're so excited to welcome for the first time Taylor Reimer to the show. Hey, Taylor.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Better than I deserve. You know, I mentioned this off mic earlier that we have JP Murray as a regular guest on the program here. We've had him on, I don't know, Alex, what, four or five times in the year that we've been doing this, and I don't think there's been a visit that he hasn't mentioned you, and of course he mentioned Santino Ferrucci. Yeah. And you guys are doing it. You guys are really doing it, and excited to see what's happening for you. It seems like every other week there's a sponsor announcement for you coming out somewhere. So that's pretty cool. Tell us, how did it all start? What was it that got you involved in racing?
Yeah, first I want to say JP is awesome, and a lot of the sponsorships that I've been able to get wouldn't be possible without him. So awesome that he, shouting out my name, and you guys are having him on your show. But yeah, I started racing. My dad got me into racing when I was younger. We started off in go-karts when I was 6, and did go-karts for several years. And then we switched to dirt racing, and I raced micros out at Port City. Raced in the junior sprint restricted class, and then I actually stopped racing for a little bit. I think it was around, I was 13 or 14 is when I finally decided to, I had to make the decision whether I was going to, kind of continue racing as a hobby, or if I was going to, go to college and get a degree and finish out high school. And at the time, we thought it was in my best interest to finish out high school and then attend college, and cheered at the University of Oklahoma all 4 years. An incredible experience. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
and then got back into racing. Kind of COVID happened, had some extra free time on my hands. So I think that was my junior year is when I kind of started running part-time. I started running midgets, which I hadn't raced previously, or, I didn't even know what a midget was at the time. But my dad and I went back to our local track, Port City Raceway, and they're racing midgets there. And an old friend of ours, he was, starting up a midget team. And he was like, "Hey, would Taylor like to test?" And I was like, absolutely. I've always had a passion for racing, knew that I wanted to get back into it at some point in time. And kind of just happened that way. And then here we are, moved out to North Carolina to try to make my way up through NASCAR.
And it's working for you. Hey, Taylor, we're going to ask you to hang on to your thought there because we're going to take a moment and share some love with our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. So don't go away. You guys on Speed Sport 1, thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back with more for Taylor Reimer.
This segment is brought to you by Redline Ace. In racing, image isn't extra. It's part of the competition. Redline Ace understands that, and they build visuals that command attention the moment you roll onto the track. Located just minutes from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana, Redline Ace specializes in high-performance motorsports graphics trusted across every level of competition. From custom car wraps and full-team branding to helmets, haulers, hero cards, and more. They make sure your presence matches your performance. See the difference for yourself at redlineace.com and find out why champions trust Redline Ace to keep their image in victory lane.
All right, welcome back. Pits are open. Oh, boy, I tell you, I'm excited for our guest today. I've heard a lot about her, been reading a lot about her. She's doing a really great job, Taylor Reimer. Taylor, welcome back.
Thank you.
So you've driven on dirt and you've driven on asphalt. Sometimes drivers have told me it's quite an adjustment to go from dirt to asphalt. What was the biggest adjustment for you? I know, when you move up the ladder, everything's asphalt, very little dirt. But do you prefer one or the other at this point? Because you're still fairly, your recollection of dirt must be still pretty accurate. What was the biggest transition difference, and which do you prefer?
Yeah, I would say the biggest transition for me was asphalt pavement racing. You have spotters. And I grew up racing, midgets and micros, and you didn't have spotters. So I think that was the biggest thing, is having someone talk in your ear while you're racing. It kind of, distracts you from being able to focus. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a huge benefit because they're able to, tell you what other people are doing on the track, what you can do better, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that was probably the biggest transition for me, was getting used to someone talking.
Okay.
And then it's hard to choose. I like them both, in their own ways. I don't know. It kind of just depends, because there's so many different track styles with pavement racing. You have super speedways, intermediate, short tracks, and then dirt racing. Obviously, you have different sizes as well. But I think I like the variability of pavement racing.
Yeah. Okay. Cornering is quite a bit different in dirt and pavement, right? I mean, it seems like cornering on dirt is more fun than cornering on pavement. Does it feel that way?
What is cornering?
When you're turning into a corner, setting the car up, because you're
I see what you're saying.
Totally different.
It in there.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah, like if you're hanging it out loose on sideways in a pavement car, you're in trouble. Like you're probably about to spin out. So whereas dirt racing, that's very normal. And that is what I do love about dirt racing is, just being able to hang it out sideways and have fun with it.
Yeah. Your adjustment to pavement has gone well. You're in the ARCA Menards series. You're getting ready for your first endeavor at Talladega.
Yep.
Talladega is an interesting place, very fast. Tell us about your first ARCA race. Were you anything that surprised you? Anything that was not what you expected? How was passing? How was being passed? How was drafting? Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So are you meaning my first race in general? ARCA race?
Your first ARCA race, yeah. Yeah.
So my first ARCA race was actually right around, I moved out here in 23, and that was my first year I ran ARCA, and it was actually a dirt race, so-called dirt race. It was at Springfield Mile, and crazy enough, it actually turns into basically a pavement race. It's a dirt race for practice, and then it slicks off and rubbers down so quick that you're basically riding around like you would a pavement race. So I was completely shocked. Like, I was out there, I had no idea what I was doing. The size of the cars compared to midgets, obviously in a stock car, like that was my first ever stock car race. So you're on, the far left side, getting used to having, the whole right side of your car is still there. So just spatial awareness was really big for me on restarts and shifting too. Like, I had never, really shifted in a car before. I had to learn that before going out for my first race. So it was a lot of firsts. I had a lot of fun. I definitely it was the heat of summer. That was the hottest race I've ever been a part of. First stock car race. I think it was like I think it was around 100 degrees. So rule of thumb is like 30 degrees hotter in the car. So I think it was around 130 inside the car. The ambulance was full of people. They had people from the stands because it was so hot, hot outside. People in the stands were passing out. Like, it was. So I was mentally, falling apart inside of the car. And then I started to realize, I was like, wow, I need to endurance train a little bit more and heat train as well. Cause that's a really big thing with these longer races too. Midget races are only 25 to 30 laps, and going into stock car racing, it was 100 laps. So that was a huge difference for me. And I was not used to it or prepared for it at all.
Yeah. So talk about a little bit your training now. I mean, as a parent of a high school cheerleader, I know that cheerleading it's a lot more work and sport than people outside of it understand. How did the training in your Division I cheerleading team, did that carry over into racing? And obviously you had to be in good shape to be a cheerleader. So it's not like you were a sluggard hanging around eating pizza and drinking beer, right? So I mean, you said you needed more endurance training. Talk about that.
Yeah, I would say for college, like when we trained, it was a little bit different than athletes train in other sports like football or basketball. I would work out outside of cheering every day, and then at practices it's tough because being in like cheer shape is a different kind of shape, and I feel like it's kind of the same with racing. Like, there's no set thing that you can do to put you in perfect shape for being a race car driver or for being cheerleader cheering for your minute and 30-second routine. Like, it's really hard to actually sit down and be like, okay, this is exactly what you have to do and you'll be in perfect shape. Like, the's no set standard for that. So there's no written book of how to be in shape. So I think it's definitely different for for racing. I have switched over to endurance training a little bit more versus heavy lifting. I still like to lift heavy, but I think, biking, treadmill, like all of that is very important, and, higher reps, less sets, essentially, doing more sets and less weight.
Okay. How about, have you noticed any like neck, head strain going around all the time for a lot more laps? Has that been an issue for you?
I've seen that a lot. I don't
You haven't.
train. I briefly did it when I was at Toyota for a little bit, but I think that's really for more F1 style racing.
Okay.
The G's are, a lot more intense on that side of things. So for what I'm doing, I don't neck train now.
Okay. How about, do you do any simulator work?
I do, yes. So I have the simulator upstairs actually that I run a decent bit I think it's a huge benefit for places that I haven't been before, like Talladega, Daytona, even some short tracks or intermediates. Every single track that is on iRacing, I will get on and practice before. And it's a huge benefit because obviously racing is very expensive and you can't go and practice in ARCA. Like, you can't just go run practice like other, series can. So having simulator experience and being able to learn the track style, learn the track, just the shape, it makes a huge difference going into the weekend and already kind of feeling comfortable before you actually get on track.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of drivers and everybody says the same thing. If you're not on a sim, you're probably behind the pace.
Yeah.
because everybody's doing it. All right, listen, we're not going to take a simulation. We're going to take a real break for a commercial right now. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Don't go away, Speed Sport 1 audience. Taylor Reimer when we get back.
This segment is brought to you by Schaefer Manufacturing. Schaefer Oil. When performance is non-negotiable and equipment is pushed to the edge, Schaefer shines. This is protection that shows up when things get pushed to their absolute limit. Their advanced lubrication technology reduces friction, runs cleaner, lasts longer, and it helps prevent the kind of breakdowns that cost time, money, and momentum. That's why professionals in trucking, farming, and racing trust Schaefer. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just performance that holds up. Learn more at schaeferoil.com.
All right, welcome back. Pits are open. Taylor Reimer, our guest, an emerging race car racing star. You're going to hear a lot about her. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, and we kind of touched this a little bit. There's been now quite a few women in racing, different series, and it seems like, other than Danica Patrick, who was there for a long time in NASCAR, it seems like everybody kind of like tops out at a certain point, and then they don't go any further. And I won't mention names, but we could, and you would know who they are. So, tell me about that. What's that been like? Are there many women in ARCA? I mean, I think you're only one of two currently driving, right? Or am I wrong?
There's actually quite a few this year. I feel like probably the most there's been. You have two full-time girls running ARCA West, and then you have one full-time ARCA Main, and then there's at least 3 of us that are part-time. So there's actually more than that. There's probably 4 or 5. There's probably 6 part-time in ARCA this year, which is amazing.
So do you guys, is there like for lack of a better term, is there like a sisterhood? Do you guys when you're running ARCA and there's 2 or 3 or 4 women in that race, do you guys hang out at all, or any more than you would with other drivers, or at all, or how is that?
I don't think it really makes a difference. When I was at Toyota last year, I was, training with several of the other girls. So, I kind of built a relationship through that, but on track and everything, for me, everyone that I'm racing against, it's all business. So I have several friends that, I race against sometimes, and then some that I don't race against, but I'm still friends with, and they're in racing too. Yeah.
Again, I hate to make generalizations, but going back over a lot of years in motorsports, it seems like a lot of time the women drivers aren't maybe taken as seriously as other drivers would be taken. You seem to be different, though. I mean, it seems like sponsors and people in the sport, commentary, you're getting a little bit more recognition, attention in terms of your racecraft as a driver. Do you sense that? Do you feel that happening?
Honestly, I actually don't know. I feel like not. And granted, I haven't done anything incredible in ARCA yet to really get talked about, but I feel like I kind of fly under the radar, which is totally fine with me because I'm new to the sport. I'm learning. And especially when you're not full time, it's really hard to gain a lot of attention. But with, the few races that I do have, I always try to do as well as I can to get all of the laps. Like, that's the biggest thing for me, is being smart and early on and finishing the race, because only being part-time, it's crucial for me to get seat time. And if I'm not, out there running every single lap, then I'm not getting and benefiting from the experience. So for me, just, trying to be as smart as I can, make it all the way through the race, and not put myself in a bad spot, and not do anything outside of the track that is going to look bad for my sponsors. And what we were kind of talking about earlier is, that's something that I learned from being a D1 cheerleader. You learn that you're a role model for your sport. And you have so many people looking up to you. The same thing when I was on the sideline as a cheerleader, you have little girls coming up to me and saying hi. And so that is something I learned early on in my college career that is very, very important. And I was able to bring over onto the racing side of things.
Well, because I mean, you have a personal brand, right? You have your own brand, but then you're representing a larger group, and it's important how you behave and how you respond to things, and you don't want to have meltdowns when something doesn't go right your way. You want to be careful about all those things. I want to talk about Daytona for a minute, but before I do that, I want to just ask, and again, I think it's pretty obvious because I talked to so many drivers about this. I'm assuming the difference that makes from part-time to full-time for you is funding.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So if there was a system that you could plug into that would build enterprise value around your career and make it possible for you to be less dependent on sponsorship, would that be something good for you?
Like if it costs less to race, but be able to run full time?
No, that you would be able to produce income in other avenues of motorsports that you're in, that's around you, and have to count less on sponsorship dollars.
So you mean like doing social media? Sorry, I don't know if I really.
No, I guess I'm just saying for a businessman, I think a lot of times, and this is what we're trying to communicate to a lot of drivers. A lot of times drivers are drivers and they're wanting to do their best and best laps and stuff. But I think really drivers need to think of themselves as CEOs. Mm-hmm. And they have to look at their career as a business. Absolutely, and how do you diversify income coming into the business so that you're just not counting on sponsors? That's what we're trying to build. And
it's hard to do.
It is, I know, and that's why we're going to offer something that makes it easier for people. Because I mean, there's so many drivers that are on the sidelines, so many drivers that aren't full time, so many teams. They lose a sponsor, they just about have to shut the doors down because CEOs change, CMOs change, attitudes change, economy changes. What a sponsor was able to do last year, I talked to somebody just recently. Their primary sponsor had to pull back about 2/3 or 75% of their funding. Now it's a problem because they're already counting. They were counting this year's budget on what that sponsor said they were going to do, and now they can't do it. So it's a huge struggle for folks, and so I'll keep you informed as we progress with this, because I really think that there's an opportunity here for a lot of drivers, a lot of teams to be able to find alternative sources of funding that would really get them through the sponsor to sponsor dilemma. So Daytona, right? Was that your first super speedway? That was, yes. All right. What did you notice? What was different? Anything you're like, whoa, wasn't ready for it. Yeah, it was honestly, it's a crazy feeling. Like just going out there, we were able to go down to test at the beginning of the year in January, and just the sense of like how fast you're going. But when you're actually inside the car and you're like, it feels like you're kind of going slow until you're actually out there with other people. Yeah. And the TV makes it look like, oh, they're just driving in a circle and holding it straight. But when you're inside of the race car, you have so many the track conditions and the banking, everything is like pulling you in different directions, and you're just trying to hold it straight, but you're having to counter steer. And so it's definitely like not as easy as it looks on TV. Like there's a lot going on inside the car, but it was a great experience. I think for me, Daytona was very overwhelming just because one, how fast you're going, and obviously, wrecking at Daytona is, it's going to happen. It happens every single time. Everybody wrecks at some point. Right. Yeah. So I think getting the first super speedway out of the way, I think Talladega, I'm going to be able to be a little bit more aggressive earlier on, and hopefully stay up front and get a win. I think it's still true that the world, the speed course record was accomplished at Talladega, and I think it still stands. It was a Porsche 917 that actually set the world speed record in a closed circuit at Talladega. Wow. So Talladega is a fast track, very fast. All right, we got about a minute left, Taylor. I had so much more I want to talk to you about. Let me see. What should I narrow it down to? Okay, so you're racing at Talladega, and there's 2 laps left, and you're in 4th place, and there's a small pack around you. Yeah. Can you see yourself being willing to just like throw it in there, push it as hard as you possibly can to get a shot at the win, and forget about the cars around you and what's going on? I mean, what's your mentality at that point, do you think?
Oh man. I mean, I would never intentionally wreck anyone. I would obviously do everything
Intentionally
I
is the key phrase.
can. Yeah. I mean, I would never wreck someone on purpose.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Because I know how much it costs and it's
Sure.
very, very expensive and how much work people put into on that side of things. So, I would honestly just listen to my spotter and whatever he tells me to do, that's what I do. I listen to my spotter. So obviously if we're going for the win and, we're right there, might try to pull out a line and make a move, but 2 laps left, like it's free game.
Yeah. So it's not this weekend, it's next weekend for Talladega.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll be
25th.
watching. Can't wait to see and cheering for you to win. So it's going to be exciting.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Well,
hope that you'll come on mid-season. Give us another report on how things are going.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Thanks so much. Taylor Reimer, everybody.
Thank you.
Good luck, Taylor.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back. Don't go away. More to come and another great driver coming up next. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're so happy to have you, all the Speed Sport 1 audience, and if you're watching on as a recorded piece, maybe on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Helps us, doesn't cost anything. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please follow us. That's awesome as well. And also, if you go to our website, pitcheropen.com, you'll notice at the bottom, I think, right-hand corner of the screen, whether you're on a laptop or mobile, there's a little icon, a little microphone icon. If you click on that icon, you can literally leave us a voice message that will come through us. And I'd love to get your feedback. Tell us who you'd like to see on the show, what you'd like us to cover on the show, any questions that you might have. And we'll get back to you. I promise we'll get back. We'll answer every question. We don't ignore any, and they're all important to us. So please, if you get a chance, go to our website, pitcheropen.com, sign up for our weekly newsletter, and click on the microphone icon and give us a little message there. We'd love to hear from you. All right, joining us now is for the second time, another not on yet. Okay. Thank you, Alex. So we'll hold off on that for a minute. All right. It's amazing to me. So many drivers that have really like a family heritage in racing. Many don't, but a lot do. And our next guest is a 4th generation stock car driver, which is amazing. From where? North Carolina. That's where all drivers are from, right? No, but a lot of drivers from North Carolina, and he's really. I'm excited for him. This guy he's doing well. He just won a major event, and it's the first, and he's so young. My gosh, he's got an incredible career ahead of him, and I'm so excited to welcome him back. Second time, 4th generation stock car driver, North Carolina, Kaeden Ballos. Kaeden, welcome to the show.
Hey, Will, how's it going? Thank you.
I'm loving life, and I'm so grateful that you're on. And I was watching you on social media, and you were at an amazing event this weekend at 1010.
Yes, sir.
With Ray Everham and group. Talk to me about that a little bit. What was that where you were visiting this weekend?
It was awesome. It was amazing. It was the 1010s Motor Club at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It was for the Heritage Invitational IROC race. So a bunch of like the old NASCAR stars, Kurt Busch, Bill Elliott. They had Jeff Gordon out there fighting for the lead. So it was super cool to see all these old NASCAR guys come at it again.
Yeah. I know our friends at Vintage Indy were also there. So there were a lot of old Indy cars out there as well. Some real screamers too.
I got to see a bunch personally. The person I came with, Ralph Hansen, he showed me a bunch of people. He introduced me to a lot of teams, and it was amazing to see. Yeah,
Mike Lashmitt is the president of Vintage Indy. He's been a long time friend, as is Ralph Hansen too. So you were in good company.
Yes,
we had you on a few months ago, and your season has started, and you got your first victory at the Tri County Speedway. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. It was awesome. We had been there only one time before that weekend, and this weekend was amazing. We showed up. I think we didn't even have practice that Friday. We just showed up Saturday morning. The car was amazing off the rip on old tires. Yeah. It was beautiful. So I knew as soon as we put the qualifying tires on, we put the stickers on, it was the feel goods. Yeah. We're going to make it turn a lot better, and it was going to be fast. So we qualified on the pole with a 53, which is flying there. Yeah. And we led the first 51 laps. We had about almost a straightaway and a half in front of the car behind us, which was the track champion there. And it was amazing. We ended up, I think, getting shuffled back to third on a restart. He jumped the first start, and then the second start, he got a good start. and I got pushed back to third because of it. And then from there, I made my way on the outside back to second with 15 to go. Ended up chasing him back down. Have it all put up on all my socials. It was amazing. And then I moved him for the lead, and it was amazing. He gave me a shot back, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and we ended up getting the lead.
Wow! Congratulations! How exciting is that? Your first big win. I mean, yeah, you've won in other types of cars before, obviously, but this is the series you're in right now. It's the series you want to win, right?
Well, it's amazing. All the hard work, all the blood, sweat, and tears that gets put in by my team. Petey Henson, my father, my grandparents. Anybody who puts hands on this race car, Tommy Sistema, Joe Robinson, anybody who's allowed me to get here, man. A lot of these people were feeling so accomplished at the end of the day, and I love being able to put that smile on their face and really just reward from all the fruits of the labor. Honestly.
It's so cool too, because it looks like a real family affair. You got your family involved, and they're behind you all the way. I mean, how rewarding is that for your dad and mom to be right there and you win on such a big day like that?
It's amazing. I really appreciate all the support that they put into my racing. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for them. And so unlike, Tuesdays at 8 p.m., it makes the team call a little bit more, I would say, exciting, knowing that all the hard work they're putting in is getting put to use. And it's not going to waste, right? Yeah.
So how many races in the season that you're in right now, Kaeden?
Yes, sir. So the season is about 30 to 40 races. I'll be racing across the year. Yes, sir.
Wow. That's a lot. I didn't realize it was that expanded. Wow.
This year is a little different. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and how about you had to be happy for your sponsors, right? They get into victory lane for them?
100%. Yes. Anybody who's helped me, Ralph Hansen with Pegasus Marketing Group. Thank you guys. P1 Web Development, 1 Hour Heating and Air. Balance of Nature, I could say. A lot of these people are great help to me, but no official sponsor quite yet looking to take that top spot. Okay. So anybody out there, I am, an open, marketable young kid ready to represent your brand, and I've done it with many other brands. Yeah, and, I'm ready to do it. So, yeah.
So you mentioned P1. Of course, we work with Kelly, and Kelly has done our website. He's working on a project right now for us. We're very excited about our Speedway Venture Studio, and Ralph, again, a good friend for many years. Talk to me about when you're looking for that primary sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Give us an idea. What can the sponsor expect? Like what? I've got a company and I want to get in racing and I don't know anything about it. And we talked about this in some articles that we wrote recently and appeared on LinkedIn. The reasons why companies don't become sponsors, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't seem clear. It doesn't seem like there's a profit for a return. It seems too complicated. What would you tell us? A sponsor? We have people right now watching this show who own companies, maybe thinking about getting into racing. Why should they sponsor you? What will you do for their product and their company?
Yeah, it's not just, a brand on your fire suit, a logo on your car. It's not just any of these things. A lot of it is brand activation as well. So it's very, I would say on the track, we'll set up tents. We'll have your product out there with people actually handing it out. I'll walk through the crowd. I'll introduce myself to people. I'll promote the product hand to hand, word of mouth. A lot of the stuff that I do on social media, you can grow with me as well. That's the main thing that I'm looking at this year is growing my following and growing my influence in a whole. So if you want to be a part of that ride and you want to be the first one at it, I have a lot of people asking me to be brand ambassadors, but no one's quite got that sponsor name yet. And I would love to promote someone at the highest degree. So I have a lot of stuff in the works this year, and I would love to attach their name as well with it. I think it would greatly influence their brand, and we can grow a partnership together this year.
Well, listen, we're going to take a break. Stay with me. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. But I'm going to give a shout out to one of your sponsors because I've got it on my bureau at home, my desk at home. Balance of Nature. There's a green bottle. There's a red bottle.
Yes.
And we're big believers in it. All right. Hey, stay with us. We'll be right back. Folks, don't go away. We got a lot more to come.
This segment is brought to you by America's Christian Credit Union. If you want your money working for you without stepping away from your values, this is worth a serious look. Right now, America's Christian Credit Union is offering a 12-month certificate at 4.5%. That's one of the highest rates in the nation, and it's all available for a limited time to new members. You can open with as little as $1,000 or invest up to $1 million. It's a term share certificate, similar to a CD, but grounded in mission. Lock in your rate while it's available. Visit americaschristiancu.com/pits to get started.
All right, welcome back. Pits are open. Boy, I tell you, I'm excited today. It's been a good program. We had Taylor Reimer on earlier. He's a great driver, come up in the ARCA Menards series. And now we got Kaeden Ballos. Come back for a second appearance. I mean, we don't have a lot of second timers, so you're up there. You're getting up there in fame for us. Talk to us a little bit about. We talk about the sponsor stuff, right? How do you do that? Well, I think you got to be attractive to potential sponsors, right? So I was on your website today, but I didn't really go through it in detail because we publish a newsletter every week, and this week you're on there. You're in there, and your website's in there, and we try to give you as much connection as we can.
Thank you, Will.
Let me ask you a question. I should know this, but I didn't spend enough time. Do you have a newsletter that you publish?
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
do?
So every
Okay.
week, every racetrack that I go to, you'll see a race recap. You might see, my race schedule that I'll be posting up on my website as well. If you hit my link tree in any one of my biographies on any one of my socials, you'll be able to see everything that I have included. My podcast, my commercials, my articles that I publish each and every week.
Okay.
So I really like staying active on there. I think it keeps everyone kind of included that they might not see from off the track, and it's kind of a behind the scenes look.
Sure. So do you actually have a newsletter that you publish that people can subscribe to?
Yeah. So, I mean, not necessarily subscribe to in a sense. I am publishing basically a newsletter out every week, but I guess they could just go on my website. It's kaedenballosmotorsports.com and hit any one of the links in my bio so you'll be able to see everything.
Okay, good. All right. So we're going to have a conversation, you and I, when
Yes,
this
sir.
is over.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's one of the things that, listen, this is for all drivers, not just you. This is for any driver, any small team. Listen, there's a difference between renting your audience and owning your audience. And when you're on only social media, you're renting your audience because you have to hope the algorithm goes your way. You have to hope that they see you. You have to hope that they click on right. But when you have when you have a list, when you have access to them through like a newsletter, you own the audience. They're your audience, and you are so primed for that because fans love you. You are a lovable driver, and it's so important for you to start building that now because it's only going to, as you know, it's only going to get more money as you move up through the ranks, and you're going to need a lot more opportunity, a lot more sponsors, and you got to start building that audience so that you own those folks and they have a great loyalty to you. And that's one of the things that we're trying to accomplish with offering Speedway Venture Studio and our membership group, the SVS Insiders. Fourth generation.
Yes, sir.
Does that carry any weight to? I mean, do you feel pressure like you got your fathers before you, grandfather, they're all racing cars? Tell us about that. How did that all start? Tell us about the four generations of racing in your family.
Yeah, my great grandfather raced. He raced, I think, the vintage old legend car looking cars back in the day on the oval. I think it's almost like compared to the legend car street stocks nowadays. My grandfather raced in the NASCAR Dash series in the 80s and 70s. He met a lot of, the person who was announcing my race this past weekend who, interviewed me in the Polo Award Victory Lane. He was like, I raced against your grandfather. It's crazy to see this full circle. Yeah, it's crazy. But, I don't feel any pressure, so to speak. I think, if anything, it makes me more excited for the race day, knowing there's a legacy that I have to carry on. I got to carry this last name. I have to make it even more important than they already have. So I would say not pressure from my ancestors or my bloodline, but I think there's certainly a legacy that I must basically carry on. And it's my calling. I think it's my passion, and, everything's kind of aligned in this way for a reason. So I'm looking to carry it on.
So you're young and you're in pretty good shape. Is that just natural, or do you work out at all?
No, sir. I mean, if you know me, about 5 years ago, I definitely had a stomach on me, and I was not the most fit person. But I took a turn in my life, and I really realized, eating well was going to help me. I thought about, what would my 70-year-old self do in my position today? So that's kind of where I'm at. And eating well, going to the gym, hitting the sauna regularly, drinking enough water. A lot of these things people might overlook, but it's very serious, and it could help you in the long run.
Yeah, very, very important. Anybody how do you get along with other drivers? I mean, you get along with everybody. You seem like you've got a very easygoing personality, which is great. Sponsors love that. But how are you getting along with your competitors, your drivers? Anybody that you really kind of hang with, or you don't have to mention names, but are there people that you feel kind of tight with as fellow drivers?
Yeah, I mean, there's one of my best friends, Tristan McKee. Another one of my friends, Mason Walters, a lot of these people that I race against as well are making it up through the ranks. So it's pretty cool to have a clique that is also doing the same thing as you. If everyone in the room is doing push-ups, you're gonna want to do push-ups as well. So that's kind of exactly where I'm at with my friend group, and I really appreciate these people pushing me to be the best. Honestly.
Yeah. So we're talking to Taylor Reimer. She's going to Talladega a couple weeks,
Nice.
second super speedway experience. And she said, there's a matter of, it's not a question if you hit the wall, it's a question of when you're going to hit the wall. So do you have any significant crash stories you think about? Anything that's happened? Yeah. Tell us the first time you crashed.
Okay. In the late models, I can definitely give you a good story. Okay. Sometimes it's inevitable. Sometimes you can do everything in your power, and it still won't go your way. So I think we were starting third on the inside on a restart. The leader jumped the start, and the guy on the outside wanted to keep it. And when he did, he ended up making contact with the leader as I was on the bottom. And keep in mind, my brakes had failed. I had zero brakes at this point. So I'm up there winging it. And so I entered turn one, and I was on the bottom, and they came down the track, and I had absolutely nowhere to go. But sometimes it's inevitable, and I have that footage up on my Facebook. It got like 700,000, almost 1 million views. It's
wow,
crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good.
It's crazy,
wonderful.
But yeah.
So, not that you think about this, but you're in this series now. Got a lot of other good drivers in there. A lot of competitors. People want to win, right? So,
yes, sir.
A lot of fenders touching fenders.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, would you anticipate you're gonna probably have a few more crazy moments before the season's over, especially with such an expanded season of 30 races? I mean, gosh, there's a lot there.
Tri County in particular as well, because it is it's a tight racetrack. The straightaways are so long, and there's multiple grooves. So whoever gets on the gas as soon as is gonna get it. But you have the best roll speed. That's kind of where I beat my competitor this weekend.
Okay.
And so sometimes you have to make contact, even if you make the best pass possible.
Yeah.
We're running hard and Robin's racing. So I do anticipate that to happen to me almost every weekend. It's kind of just like expecting the dealer to have a blackjack or something.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So you're making great progress. You got a victory under your belt. So cool. Where if you were writing a script yourself, where do you see yourself in maybe, let's say, 3 years?
Yes, sir. I would love to finish the season out in the car store. Right now, we have about 5 to 6 select races we're running. I would love to run all of the car store races if given the funding, as well as the ARCA races in the next year. Mm-hmm. I would love to push up through the ranks as fast as possible. I mean, if ideally we're talking money didn't exist and I could get straight to the top, I would love to be in the Cup Series right now. But, it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes motivation to get to the point where you need to go. And I think this year is going to be the crucial year I need to break through to that process.
So is funding the biggest hurdle?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think if you ask any racer, I would argue they'd say the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to help so much with this new concept that we're going to be releasing in a few months here.
Yeah.
Just to be able to give drivers the knowledge, the ability to be able to fund their team with less dependency on sponsorship and more dependency on enterprise value that you guys may know that you have or may not know that you have. So we'll definitely keep you. You're on the mailing list, so we'll keep you informed as we get ready for that.
Thank you, and I think you have a great idea with what you're doing. I already looked into it, and it looks absolutely fantastic, man.
Thank you. So what's your next event? What's your next race?
Yeah, this weekend we're going back to back. This weekend at Tri County.
No kidding! Win. Wow.
Yes, sir.
That'd be cool. Back to back wins. That'd be nice.
It would be amazing. The following week we'll be at Caraway for the car store race on the 25th. Okay. So we'll be racing that, and then I believe the weekend after or the week of, I'll be going to Skip Barber racing the F4 car. Yes, sir.
No kidding.
Yes, sir. VIR.
Wow. At VIR, good for you. Yes, I went to Skippy. That was where I broke in at Skip Barber, Lime Rock Park. Yeah,
it's going to get me well prepared for the F3 test that I'll be doing at Autobahn.
Good.
It's to come up in May, so I'm looking forward.
So
to
you like the open wheel cars?
Actually, never done it.
Oh,
funny enough. Yes, sir.
Well,
just gotten recently into the karting aspect of the world.
Good luck.
So, I'm used to jumping in with the sharks, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, listen, I'm so happy for you. I was so thrilled to see that you won the race, and thanks for coming on the program again. We'll wait a few more months mid-season, get you back on, get you an update for that. Thank you so much, Kaeden Ballos, fourth generation late model stock car driver, tearing it up, and got a lot more to go. So we're excited for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
All right. We'll be seeing you again. Take care. Thank
Take
you.
care.
All right, that's it. It's a wrap for us. Great show. 2 great young upcoming drivers. Excited about it. Again, please go to our website, thepitsareopen.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Check out what's going on. I want to say thanks again to Speed Sport One for allowing us to come into your homes. And also, if you're watching as a recorded piece on YouTube, like and subscribe. And also, if you're listening on Spotify, that you'd follow us as well. Alex, thank you so much. Our producer, engineer, Alex Smith. And have a great week, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next time.